come I don't hear anything? Oh, jeez, what's going on? Let's see, camera, audio. Yo,
in the church. Understand this. You will sit here with everything you need to survive in this wicked world. I'm just here to remind you. This is for anybody who has forgotten and got lost. I just want you to let you know one thing. I came to deliver this message. Look. God has blessed you with everything you need. If you look inside, you'll find everything you need. God has blessed you with
quick show
everything
today.
you need.
I gotta go.
God has blessed you with everything. God has blessed you with everything you need. If you look inside, you'll find everything you need. God has blessed you with everything you need. Let's go. Check it out. Although I thank and praise God for this life of mine, at times I feel like I'm living on the main line. In gin pop with my people like that cage kind. On a planet that's a prison at the same time. In a place where everybody tries to take our grace. Forced to live in this state as a hated saint. Scared to go cause we don't know our own strength. And when we use it, we get told we should withhold our own strength. But check this, God gave our people what we need to be. Conquerors over our enemies are free. And with genetics on our side, we're gonna outlast the hate from below that labeled us an outcast. They wanna break us because they ain't us. And we can reproduce in any womb that'll take us. We're blessed by this one true fact. So put a fist up in the air if you're proud to be black. Know that God is
Back when I
blessed.
was drinking, alcohol was my God, alcoholism was my religion, and an alcoholic was my identity.
And I can never be who I used to be. I'm sorry if you got used to me.
Our history with alcohol, how it's marketed to us, our relationship with alcohol versus other groups of people and their relationship to alcohol is different. And so it requires extra considerations when we're looking at sobriety and recovery.
Sobriety in Black is about alcoholism. It's about the DUIs. It's about the wrecks. It's about the revelation. And it's about the recovery. It's about a process that can help anybody gain freedom from their addictions.
All right. I know I'm popping up. Just like to welcome everybody that'll see this probably later. My name is Hanif Satterfield with Sobriety in Black, and this is a quick pop-up for the SOS, the sermon on Sundays. I was thinking about not doing this because I literally can only be on here for about 20 minutes, and then I got to go handle some business. But in the name of consistency, I wanted to make sure I got on here. So for no other reason, when you get a chance, hopefully you can check this out and it'll, pour into you. But for this episode today, this little quick episode, I want to talk about a meme that I had put up actually maybe a few days ago that said that you need to be a better friend to yourself. You need to be a better friend to yourself. And in that meme, what I had stated was that, we're often that we should treat ourselves with the same amount of forgiveness, with the same amount of grace, with the same amount of mercy as we do some of our best friends. We all have those friends that are absolutely trifling. Okay, friends that we know just ain't no good, or maybe they've done us wrong, or disrespected us a little bit, or crossed the line, and but they are friends. Maybe we grew up with them. None of us are perfect, so we tolerate certain things with them, right? But it's interesting how we're very short when it comes to how we deal with ourselves. and how we treat ourselves. And when you think about your self-talk, when you think about, how you get on yourself when you mess up or you fail or maybe you fall short in a certain area, you have to remember, and I wanted to get on here real quick to remind you that you need to be a better friend to yourself. And there are a few verses that can help you do that, that kind of point to a few areas where you can do this. All right. So I'm going to go through them real quick. Like I said, I only got about 15, maybe 20 minutes tops to be on here. But I wanted to remind you, because I thought this was a very good lesson, to be a better friend to yourself. So the first verse that I want to talk about is 1 Thessalonians 5:11. I don't have time to really screen share and put it up. Matter of fact, I should make time. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to do this. 1 Thessalonians 5:11. Let's see if I can get it to pop up and screen share it real quick. No, that's not it. 1 Thessalonians. Okay, no, that's a different. Sorry, guys. Hold on. I'm trying to see. Well, I'm going to read it. I may have the wrong. Oh, no, there it is. Okay, give me 1 sec. All right, 1 Thessalonians 5:11. And if somebody can put it in the comments, that would be great. Matter of fact, let me put it in. That might be easier if I put it in the comments, as opposed to sharing it, because I kind of got to get straight to it. And like I said, I apologize. It's just I've got something to do. I actually did a table etiquette class that ran time, and so wasn't able to. So basically what 1 Thessalonians 5:11 says, and I put it in the comments, so based off of where you're at on YouTube, it popped up. On Facebook, it popped up. So it says, therefore, encourage one another and build each other up, just as in fact you are doing. When you suffer, so for instance, there were many times where I suffered relapses. There were many times where I fell short, and I would really get down on myself. And one thing my therapist told me is I really needed to monitor my self-talk, because when it comes to my friends, I was very quick to encourage them when they fell down. When they had a problem, I would tell them, try to help them look at the positive side, or help them find the lesson in it, and encourage them so that they could recover. But I wasn't really quick to do that for myself. And so what 1 Thessalonians 5:11 teaches us and reminds us to do is that just as we, and from the standpoint of sobriety and self-improvement, just as we encourage one another and build each other up, we need to be able to do the same for ourselves when nobody else is around to do that for us. Because there are many times, especially in many of the roads that we walk, where you're going to be alone. You're not going to have anybody clapping for you. You're not going to have anybody encouraging you. And the question is, without that external motivation or that external encouragement, what are you going to do? Are you going to dwell? Are you going to wallow? And it's easy for us to do that. And we have to remember that to encourage ourselves, and that starts with our self-talk, how we think about ourselves, and trying to be very deliberate in being positive when we speak about ourselves, especially in times where we may disappoint ourselves or fall short or worry that we're going to fall short in achieving a goal or satisfying a need, right? We need to encourage ourselves. And so that's what 1 Thessalonians 5:11 reminds us. In order to be a better friend for yourself, continue to encourage yourself and really deliberately focus on encouraging yourself in those times that can be discouraging whenever you're facing a problem. One of the things, I relapsed a few times before, finding sobriety and being able to maintain it for over 11 years. And the reason why I was able to do that was when times where I was alone and disappointed, I was able to encourage myself. There were people who, thank God, helped me out externally. But when I was alone by myself, especially the first year of my sobriety, when I chose not to tell anybody that I stopped drinking, I had to encourage myself because everybody else thought I was drinking. So there was nobody there to encourage me. Not my family, not my friends, nobody. And that was by choice. But it helped strengthen me. All right. So remember to encourage yourself just as you encourage other people, your friends and family, when they are down. Second verse, we have Proverbs 27:9, right? And it says, oil and perfume make the heart glad, and the sweetness of a friend comes from his earnest counsel. And this is where finding counsel, seeking knowledge that you may not have, or somebody to remind you of something, a lesson that maybe you failed to learn or remember, can help you become a better friend to yourself. Whenever you're learning something new, whenever you give yourself the gift of new knowledge, you are becoming a better friend to yourself. Okay. Yes, you'll have teachers. Yes, you'll have people who will suggest things to you because they love you. And that's fantastic. But when you go out and seek knowledge for yourself, you are becoming a better friend to yourself. All right. That's Proverbs 27:9. Oil and perfume make the heart glad, and the sweetness of a friend comes from his earnest counsel. Okay. It says his earnest counsel, not necessarily his encouragement, but it's counsel. So on top of being able to encourage and motivate yourself to become a better friend to yourself, also seek knowledge, seek enlightenment. That's why I'm always reading books. I told you I read everything from the Holy Bible to the Holy Quran, the Mein Kampf. I got the, matter of fact, I'm waiting for it to come. It should come tomorrow. The autobiography of Robert E. Lee. Yes, the Robert E. Lee that fought on the side of slavery. That guy. Yes. And I'm going to find some counsel in that, if for nothing else than to learn more about my enemies, because that can help me. It'll help me find snakes. It'll help me address them, right? So all of this is an act of self-love. Finding knowledge is an act of self-love. And that's how another way that you can become a better friend to yourself. All right. Then we have another verse, Romans 12, chapter 12, verse 10. And it states, love one another with brotherly affection. Outdo one another in showing honor. Honor yourself. Okay. Yes, it's great to get compliments from other people. Yes, it can be, they can say you don't want to be boastful, but you should be able to speak to your talents. If somebody, I used to do this in the classrooms and I still do it when I teach classes. I'll ask a student, especially younger students, high school, middle school, I'll ask them, I'll say, tell me 5 things that you think you could work on and improve in your life that aren't too great, weaknesses you can strengthen up. And they'll be real quick. Man, I wish I was faster. I wish I was finer. I wish I was smarter. I wish I was this. And then I say, okay, tell me 5 good things about yourself. And the funny thing is, it takes them longer to list 5 positive things about themselves than it does to list 5 criticisms. So I would urge you to think about that right now. If somebody walked up to you and said, give me 5 things that are good, that the 5 attributes, talents, whatever, characteristics that are positive, that are good about you. You should be able to run them off. You should be able to state them, and you need to state them out loud. Yes, I am good at this. Yes, I am perceptive. I'm smart. I'm great at basketball. I'm a great people person. You need to be able to honor yourself. We're very good at honoring our friends. We're very good at honoring others. It's very easy, because if I ask a friend of somebody, hey, tell me 5 great things about your friend, they'll rattle them off. Then I'll say, okay, well, give me 5 great things about you. They have a problem with that. And because it's our human nature, sometimes our humility, our false sense of humility can get in the way of us honoring ourselves. Oh, and it's not about being boastful. It's not about saying you're better than everybody else. But if you are, hey, I am a top 10 basketball player, and that is great. I'm one of the only top 10 greatest basketball players of all time. Ain't nothing wrong about that if that's the facts. But honor yourself. Take the time to honor yourself. Even if you have to, you're humble, you want to say, I thank God for giving me the ability to do this, but recognize the gifts that God has given you. And not only the God they've given you, the gifts that you actually use. Remember the story about the talents, because if you don't use them, they don't exist. And you're really, from a Christian standpoint, you're disappointing God. You're disappointing Allah. You're disappointing the universe. You're disappointing Mother Nature. You're disappointing your parents that gave you certain knowledge or attributes that were passed down to you from your ancestors. So you should be able to recognize and honor them. and you should do it out of your mouth. You can do it humbly, but definitely recognize them. All right. And that's what Romans 12:10, that's what for me, that's what how it teaches me to be a better friend to myself. Love one another with brotherly affection. Outdo one another in showing honor. Honor yourself. All right. You want to honor yourself. There's another one I didn't even list on here. I'll get it real quick. Like I said, I have to go, but I wanted to make sure I laid this down. Colossians 3:13, and it says, bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. Forgive yourself. We're very quick to forgive. Some of us got some terrible friends. We just know, like I got homies that I just know they ain't nothing. They're still my boys. I'm real quick to forgive them. Sometimes you shouldn't, right? But there are times where you're like, okay, he did that, especially me. I've been that friend. I've been forgiven by a whole lot of people. I used to get drunk, say stupid things. I've done stuff sober, right? I thank God for a friend that forgave me just the other week for talking out of my neck years ago that I didn't even remember, right? But it's very easy for us to forgive, forgiving other people, but we can be very hard on ourselves. And in order to become a better friend for yourself, you've got to forgive yourself. You've got to get in the habit of forgiving yourself. Now, you build on top of it. You don't use it as a credit card. Oh, I forgive myself for falling off today, and then do the same thing tomorrow over and over again, because you're really not forgiving yourself if you're doing that again. All right. But you do need to take time to forgive yourself so that you can move forward. We have all fallen short. We have all done things that were out of character, that were lower than us, lesser than us. But you can't dwell on it. And the funny thing is, we can forgive a friend, we can forgive somebody else and get through it and get over it. But a lot of times we hold on to certain guilt and we hold on to certain negative feelings about ourselves because of things that have happened in the past. But in order to redeem yourself, in order to really build off of it and learn from it, right, you have got to forgive it and grow, right? You have to grow out of it. And in order to do that, forgive yourself. So you want to make sure you do that in order to become a better friend to yourself, because we are always working on being better friends to other people, our family, our children, husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, everybody else, our pets, right? But a lot of times we don't forgive ourselves. We don't honor ourselves, right? We don't recognize our greatness, right? We don't seek counsel. We don't seek knowledge for ourselves, but we teach lessons to other people, but we don't feed ourselves. And we can, when you get into that self-neglectful nature, it can get in the way of your growth, your spiritual growth, your physical growth, your mental growth, your social growth, your psychological growth, your emotional growth. All of these things are important. And when you become a better friend to yourself, you're able to grow in all of these aspects. All right. So I just wanted to leave that with you. And just in review, all right. So 1 Thessalonians 5:11, it teaches us to encourage ourselves, right? And to build ourselves up, right? Therefore, encourage one another and build one another up just as you are doing. We need to build ourselves up, encourage ourselves. Affirmations are a great way to start your morning up. Get up in the morning, look at yourself dead in the mirror and say, I am this. I am this. You are a great person. You are a good person. You're going to be a better person. You are doing this. Affirm those things in your life, right? Proverbs 27:9. Oil and perfume make the heart glad, and the sweetness of a friend comes from his earnest counsel. This is where I tell people, it's not when we talk about therapy, it's not about you needing therapy. It's about you deserving it. Everybody deserves a therapist. You deserve it, just like a billionaire deserves an accountant. Yes, the billionaire has the ability to make money, obviously, and he probably could manage it by himself, but he's made so much, he's got so many blessings that he deserves an accountant, somebody who is there to strictly to do nothing else but to help them keep their money, and to have your own personal individual that is there to help you selfishly, yes, selfishly, help you through your mental problems. A lot of you guys are, been at these jobs for years. You got an EAP program, employee assistance program. Get in touch, get your 5 free sessions and see what having a therapist that is there for you, not your kids, not your friends, not your buddy. Remember, this is about being the best friend to yourself. For you, somebody who's selfishly worried about your mental well-being. You deserve that. So get it for yourself. Don't look at it like, oh, this is having a therapy is a representation of my weakness. No, just like having an accountant is not a representation of Warren Buffett's weakness, or having a coach isn't a representation of, LeBron James' weakness. LeBron James is a hell of a player. He still got a coach. He deserves a coach. He's got a physical therapist, a mental therapist, a chauffeur. He got all these things. So how you look at these things is all that's going to help you become a better friend to yourself. All right. Romans 12:10, love one another with brotherly affection. Outdo one another in showing honor. You need to honor yourself, because if you sit around waiting for the world to honor you, you may die miserable. Now, if you have people that honor you, you are a blessed individual, but that should not stop you from being able to honor yourself. Not just on your birthday. It's my birthday. Here's the cash app. Give me some money. No, every day. Wake up. Give yourself some affirmations. Celebrate your greatness. Recognize your greatness. Thank God for your greatness. You can thank others if you like, just like accepting an award. But at the end of the day, just like Snoop Dogg, he has a song called I Would Like to Thank Me. And it was funny before I grew, when I first heard it, I was like, man, this guy's really like on himself. But then I was like, you know what? He has a right to thank himself. I have a right to thank myself. I'd like to thank me. I've told God, hey, I appreciate the fact that I took your advice, because taking the God's advice is a choice. You have to make a choice. God doesn't get in the way of your free will, y'all. That's why you're not a robot. So when you make the choice to make the right decision, a decision that came from him, right? Then you should honor yourself for that, because there are many people who he gave that same counsel to that he didn't take it. So honor yourself for that. You understand what I'm saying? And then we've got Colossians 3:13. Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. So if you have a grievance against yourself for something that you did in the past, something you didn't do in the past, wherever you failed, forgive yourself and grow out of it. Grow out of it. Learn from it. Grow out of it. And that's how you can truly honor yourself, forgive yourself, and be the best friend to yourself that you can be. All right. That's all I wanted to leave you guys with. I wanted to make sure I jumped on here because I got to get out of here. But I hope that does pour into you. I hope you make an attempt to be the best friend to yourself you can be, to be a better friend to yourself. And I hope that some of these things that I've given you can pour into you. Definitely feel free to leave a comment. Love Jones, I see you out there. I appreciate that. Yeah, I definitely think these are facts, and I hope that it pours into you. And anybody who's watching this, whether you're watching it live right now or you watch it later, may it bless you. May you have a great day. And for all my sober soldiers out there that are part of the Alcohol Free and Fit Challenge, as you know, this is our 21st day. Some of you guys have DM'd me, and it's been such a pleasant thing to hear that you've gone 21 days without drinking. And that's fantastic. We're still pushing on. We got one more week to go to finish this off up until February 2nd. If you want to join the challenge, I don't care if it's the last day. You can join this challenge whenever, and you can keep it going afterwards for 30 days if you choose. You can go to www.sobrietyandblack.com, and you can go ahead and go down to the Alcohol Free and Fit Challenge section. You can hit sign up and go ahead and sign up. All right. I hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy your Sunday. I hope this pours into you. And until next time, peace.